How long gone? I've had about enough. Chris Black, I'm still in Wyoming. Them jeans. I'm sure it's a beautiful day where you're coming from, but we need to talk about the Cannes Film Festival if you are open to it.
I'm open to it. Yeah, I have had enough. What song? Oh, that's The Boy Is Mine. I was trying to figure out what song. Had about enough. Okay, yeah. It is a beautiful Monday morning here in Glendale. We just went to the dog park, ran around, grabbed a little Starbucks cortado. That first sip feeling, hashtag. But Cannes Film Festival, let's get into it. I don't know. I'm still locked out of my Twitter, so I don't know what's happening in the world whatsoever.
Well,
unless it's on the Drudge Report.
Alexander Skarsgård is in some sort of gay movie. And so his stylist, Harry Lambert, has been putting him in sort of some of the ugliest clothes I've ever seen that are meant to evoke gayness. You know what I mean? Like knee-high boots with the suit, like the suit pants tucked in, look like a Tom of Finland t-shirt that's like a little too small. And people are gagging, and I am also gagging, but in a different way, because making a guy that hot look this kind of weird and bad is a special skill that I don't understand what the vision is. You know?
I just looked up a photo. The Variety headline yesterday says kinky sex, BDSM, Alexander Skarsgård, and rubber masks. Pillion seduces Cannes with 7-minute standing O, and there's a photo of him wearing a t-shirt where it looks like so he's red carpet at Cannes wearing a t-shirt. First of all, the t-shirt has a boot on it, and the boot seems to be being licked by a guy who's hairy, and he's standing next to a guy who looks like a lesbian wearing
an ugly suit.
Grand Ole Opry.
But yeah, the Skarsgård, the shirt is cool. Like, I like the t-shirt.
Cool shirt.
I don't think it's appropriate for the setting. I also don't think it fit. It's too tight, but I guess that's the whole point.
Because he has a good body, he looks good, but he could lose. He could lose 4.5.
I don't think that. I'm not going to say that. But he also there's like a Saint Laurent tuxedo that has a over the knee, like a thigh high leather boot.
I see it.
And it's just like, that just doesn't look cool. Like, it's just too much, dude.
Yeah, I mean, because you're taking. I guess maybe that's the problem. Is fashion is all about the spectrum, nuances, subtlety. There is such a thing as too much. There's such a thing as too little. And whoever his stylist is like, oh, it's a gay movie. Let's just go 0 to 1,000 and have him wearing some fucking thigh-high dominatrix boots with an odd-fitting tuxedo.
I mean, I get that. Again, I get that this is in line with what the movie is about.
He's like, you know what? Oh, it's a gay role. Let's just Google Sam Smith and whatever that guy wears. Let's put Alexander Skarsgård in, for Christ's sake.
Once again, put him in a tuxedo. This guy can't miss. But you start adding all this. It just doesn't. I don't know, man. I don't understand thematic dressing. I think that's my issue, is that I don't understand who that serves, because most people dress the way they dress because they look and feel confident and comfortable. And as soon as you start going Halloween mode, it doesn't work the same way.
It's crazy. You can already buy
a bootleg
duplicates of the shirt that he's wearing. Yeah.
Shout out to Jerk Store, though. I believe that t-shirt is from Jerk Store, one of my one of the best online. Shout out to them.
A great Instagram account.
I think there was also a picture of Paul Mescal in like a Sundance t-shirt that I also think was from Jerks. So they're getting it in. They're at least somebody's benefiting from this.
Yeah, our vintage reseller friends are winning right now. It feels like it's kind of cold for Cannes, even though it's still Cannes. It's the best of the best, blah, blah, blah. But with everyone just kind of wearing whatever and treating it like whatever, it really used to have this special, Riviera glam, magic energy to it. And it was like a theme or a style of dressing that was really interesting, show off the resort wear, whatever it is. And now it's just like t-shirt and aviators, whatever. I don't know. Suit with no shirt underneath it. It's the same shit that you could just wear anywhere. And these are our A-listers.
I mean, Robert Pattinson looked good. I don't know what he's wearing, but I like that. I like a suede jacket. But I mean,
that was kind of a TJ fit, actually. The photo I sent you, huh?
Yeah, it looks good. He looked good. He looks cool and normal. Like, he looks cooler than a regular person on the street, but he doesn't look like a fucking costume wearer. which is the sweet spot that you're trying to hit, I feel like.
I think I have this same coat that he's wearing, this brown suede one.
I don't think you do, but it's similar.
Okay, what brand is it?
I bet his is Dior, maybe. Mm-hmm. But
I mean, this is a fit that I wear all the time.
For sure. You don't. I didn't think you were into the butter color.
Yeah, I would wear a white tee underneath it, but yeah, it's just a white tee, baby blue Oxford, dark brown suede coat, pleated khaki Converse. This is the outfit I've been wearing since 1997.
But that's because it's an outfit that looks good on almost anyone, and that's why people keep coming back to it. There doesn't need to be too much additional added for that to work.
Yeah, just add one of the hottest guys of all time, and then it really seems to work out perfectly, doesn't it?
I mean, that's what I'm saying, though. This would work on someone who's not quite as hot. That's my whole point. That's my whole point. But
it would.
There's more importantly, Bernie Sanders went on Schultz's podcast.
Okay.
And they ripped the Democratic Party together. They linked up to shit on the Democrats.
To spill?
Which I think is pretty funny that Bernie.
That's funny. I just Googled Bernie and Schultz, and it pulled up a professional bass fisherman named Bernie Schultz.
That's a good. That sounds like a fake name, so it makes sense.
It does.
But yeah, I was
sorry, carry on.
I'm not going to watch the clips, but I just love that that's where Bernie Sanders is at now. It's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go on a podcast with like a fucking comedian freak and just shit on the party because they have an audience. So it just doesn't matter. As long as you have an audience, I'll go there. Is where we're at with politics, which is a pretty crazy place.
Yeah, but also, I mean, everyone else seems to be doing it except for Kamala.
Well, Kamala's out. I mean, Kamala's chilling. She's going to be governor of California. She ain't got to worry about all this other shit.
That's going to be a great job for her. I think governor is ideal for her.
Yeah,
it's not an L. It is not a lateral move either, but it's not an L.
It's not. No, I agree.
I think that's perfect for
It's
her.
better than having fucking colon cancer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like Chris, you're a go-getter. You're driven. You don't want to be the CEO of a company, right? You want to be a creative consultant.
I mean, it's a different kind of. I think you can have CEO grind set without actually having to have that job.
Yeah, just like you don't want that specific level of responsibility.
No.
Just you deal with so much muckety muck.
I think the job is kind of completely dealing with muckety muck, and that's why you're compensated so well, is because it actually sucks. I know we love to complain about our CEOs getting paid too much, but I think you would probably find that you couldn't walk a day in their shoes.
Yeah. And you will also find that they often get paid less than most influencers I know.
I mean,
just in terms of annual revenue, you know,
maybe at some level, but I think that there's also when you see, because the problem is when you work for a publicly traded company, that's the problem, because then everybody sees your salary, and then they're like, why did you get a $15 million bonus when the company lost $30 million? You know, that kind of discussion.
Mm-hmm. And then you go, ooh, I'm gonna go and hang out in my yacht in international waters for a couple weeks till it blows over. Have you guys seen Eurovision? It's crazy.
My question is, though, who would not accept a ludicrously large bonus even if they knew that the company was suffering? Let's be honest with ourselves.
Bernie?
We would all accept it. Bernie's never had a job, so he doesn't know. Politician ain't a real job. If somebody was like, hey, we're going to give you a $5 million bonus on your, multi-million-dollar salary. It's going to be public. You're going to get shit on, but you still get the $5 million, and the company isn't doing well. It doesn't matter. Who's not going to take that? Who, like, realistically, what human is above that? And I don't think there's very many.
There's not very many, but there are some. And I think it really depends on what the health of the business is at that moment, I think, and whether or not you own the business.
Well, if you own the business, it's different. But I'm saying if you're, I think if you're a CEO of a company and you're making that kind of bread, you know that you are going to get fired at some point, because that's how this game is played. Mm-hmm. So you gotta milk the cow until you put it out to pasture. There's no
get it while the getting is good.
Yeah, you got to get it while the getting is good. And I don't understand why we blame people. I think everyone would do that if they were put in that position, but it's very easy to say that's bad because you'll never be in that position.
That's the problem. The reason why they get these big bonuses is because they have to not do the hard manual labor, but they have to do the hard work of firing important people with jobs and families and stuff, and that's really tough to do. And that's
you got to
how
be
you make the most
compensated
money.
for that. You got to be compensated.
Like, you know what, I know that you had to, like, fix the server or whatever so our website could work. But I had to let a woman who's just about to have a baby know that she will have to vacate her desk and be escorted by security. Do you think that is easy? Exactly.
Yeah, I've luckily I've never had to fire anyone, but it doesn't sound very pleasant, and it does seem like something you should be compensated well for. But everybody should be paid more, in my opinion. Except like that's how I think everybody should be paid more. But like
you want to do 65-35?
Yeah, exactly. It's a cutthroat. It's a cutthroat world out there, and you got to get yours when the opportunity arises. You know? I don't think we can. That's all I'm saying. I don't think we can sort of vilify people for that, no matter how rich they are. That's just not something I can get upset about.
Mm-hmm. That's true, brother. That's true. Yeah, so you are still in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. This is week 3, I think. Is that what it is?
It's 4 days, but yeah, I mean, it feels a little. The weather's just been really bad. Like it's just snowed, rain. Now it's looking okay out there. I'm gonna have to do a midday workout. The pros are doing like a 10-mile, like neck-breaking elevation run that I luckily was able to opt out of because of some work obligations.
10-mile elevation run, Jesus!
Like it's like straight uphill, and the elevation here also fucks up my lung capacity. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty.
You got a little oxygen bottle?
No,
you got a little huffer?
No, we don't have huffers here. I'm surprised. I know. I'm surprised, but it's not. It doesn't seem like a huffer culture the way that Aspen is.
Oh, they're just kind of like, that's for pussies.
I think that might be. Yeah, I think
that's cool.
I think that might be the case. I think that might
like
be
not only do we run in pure silence, just the sound of our own thoughts, no podcasts. No Japanese breakfast playlist.
Come on, they're not that crazy. Listening to Japanese breakfast is crazier than running 10 miles straight uphill.
This is Japanese breakfast.
That's really that to me is.
But then also like, hey, you're about to die. Do you want some oxygen? And you're like, no.
Listening to Japanese breakfast is worse than overpaid CEOs, I would say. If I had to choose one or the other, I think that's what I would pick.
Listening to Jay Brecky or telling them that you might as well send the helicopter to airlift me out. It's a real Sophie's choice.
I'm taking the fucking helicopter. All right, we have a guest today. Biz Sherbert has a newsletter called American Style that's gaining some popularity. She's also the co-host of Nymphet Alumni, a podcast that I've also heard a lot of whispers about, but have not had a chance to blast through my AirPods yet. But she's in London, and I feel like we're gonna have a lot to talk about with old Biz.
Hi guys.
Hi guys. Do you got your AirPods in?
I have everything. I have the Blue Yeti in front of me. I got the Skull Candy earbuds.
Shout out to our Skull Candy family. I love to see that.
Skull Candy.
Are you on a Skull Candy flow team, or did you purchase those?
I bought them in the airport one time.
And you still have them?
Yeah, I really like them.
Okay. What is it? Is it the sound quality? Is it the...
No, I like that there's a little like cute skull on the outside.
Okay, so you're going, okay, so you're not worried about the sound quality. You're just effing with that pink skull.
Yeah, I like that. And I have a good memory of it because like, when they're that really hard plastic that headphones are in and you have to like chew it to get it out or something?
Of course.
I just asked the lady at Heathrow to open it for me with scissors and it was just like so nice. So I have good memories from that. And then, I do have like big over-the-ear headphones.
Do you have a sizzle?
She didn't sound like that, but
whatever.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you have a nice memory because the woman at the replay store was nice enough to use her scissors to open up your Skull Candy Desperation headphones.
I guess I'm telling you that because I feel like there's that thing where people are like scared to ask for like sauce or something. You know what I mean? They're like, I need some more ranch. And I was like, can I use your scissors? Actually, can you use them for me? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a similar... No, I do know what you mean.
Wait, there's people who are afraid of asking for sauce?
Yeah.
Tell me more about this, Biz.
That's like a generational stereotype of like Gen Z is that they like, if their chicken breast got sent out raw or something, they would be like, I'm just going to eat it. Because like, I don't want to be mean to the waitress.
Sure, yeah.
Is there like a hashtag for that? Or like a phrase or anything that we can coin?
Like social anxiety.
There's a movement.
Yeah, there's a movement. Social anxiety.
Not
I think.
Asking for extra sauce because you feel like you're putting out a
You're putting out. Yeah.
a wage-based employer is a pretty funny way to go through life.
Yeah, that's not me. But I've had my rough moments.
So you have no problem saying this chicken raw, I don't want to die, can I have a new one?
Yeah, I've done that before.
Good.
Yeah, and I remember it.
Okay.
It was a Caesar salad.
Is the Caesar salad, and you're saying the chicken that was on top of the Caesar was looking a little pink?
Yeah, it was raw.
Actually, come on. It wasn't actually raw.
Bro.
No, it was. Like, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, but that's like the grossest thing for like chicken to be raw on is probably a Caesar salad, you know?
Yeah, I
point.
hope they replaced not only the chicken, but also the salad. You know
They
what I mean?
probably didn't.
I don't
It was
think
like
they
a
did.
really, it was a really random restaurant.
I
so
think
don't
they
know if
probably
do.
just took the chicken off, cooked it up a little bit, and put it right back on those soggy chicken leaves that they gave you.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I'm
and I
glad
ate
that
it.
we brought up chicken because I was listening to an episode of your podcast
Okay.
and you were doing a mukbang at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, that's true.
And I had a question as a doll protector, how do you justify giving your money to Chick-fil-A?
Do you know any gay people from the South?
A podcast with 3 days a week.
I knew that was coming.
I just feel like all the gay people from the South love Chick-fil-A.
They Jason, let's think of Dakota in this moment. You know, friend of the friend.
Yeah, Dakota.
friend of the
Brent Ferry?
no, Dakota. What's his
Oh.
last
I don't
name,
know.
Jason?
I don't
Do
know.
we know?
He's the one who does the N42 drink. Him and his
That's
partner.
Brent Ferry. That's Dakota.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
That's my kin.
my southern sissy that's my number one.
Chris
southern
got
guy.
me a cameo from him. Jason.
Forgot I did that.
Okay, yes, that feels good. That feels good to hear because Alexi, who I did the podcast with, met him, and I think they follow each other now. And then also, I saw him in JFK a couple months ago, and he was like strutting through the airport, full beat on. I think he had like a pink little carry-on bag. It was really, really cute.
He's got a pink everything.
He tricked out his.
Yeah.
I believe I can't remember if he has a.
I think it's a Toyota Highlander that he bedazzled
Pinked
pink
out.
like a razor.
pinked out.
Like pink Swarovski on the Highlander.
We've tried to get him on How Long Gone for a year or more.
Does he like you guys? Like, is he familiar with your work?
Him and I DM, and I will be like, so when are you going to come on the pod? And he will literally reply 6 months later, like, I don't know, y'all. I'm kind of nervous. Should I do it? And I'm like, bro, that was November. And then I'll write
But
back,
like, what? How
and that's it.
did you guys initially like connect? Was it like through a Southern?
No, just me glazing him on this podcast.
Oh, okay.
The algo fed it to us, and then we talked about it a little bit, and then we just kind of followed each other.
I see.
To me, it's a little old hat. The bloom is kind of off the rose. They ran out of places to go dine at, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can't say I like regularly watch their videos anymore, but I'm happy that they're happy.
I'm happy that they're eating this awful food and their bodies look good. I don't know how that works out.
That's gay. That's gays only, bro. That's why we couldn't do that if we wanted.
They're like really like they've been around for a while. Because I remember one time I was with my sister in Mexico. This is actually like a bad story, and we were like doing videos pretending to be them because my sister really wanted to do it. And then there was this huge Southern family next to us, and like the Southern dad who was kind of like the dad from White Lotus, which is very much my culture because I'm from South Carolina. He came up and he like insinuated that we were in a gay relationship together, me and my sister, because his daughter was a lesbian, and so he was like a traditional Southern man.
Was he hard? Was he hard when he approached or no?
Like what do you mean?
Was his penis erect when he came
I
up to
don't
you?
think so. No.
Okay, good. All right, good. I'm just making
Christopher.
sure it wasn't too weird.
So was it more like he's at the dog park and he's like, maybe you guys can play together kind of thing?
I don't like these ideas.
I don't like these ideas.
Like, I got one of you at home?
That's not normal for him to have like a lesbian daughter.
Definitely not.
And I was like, no, that's my sister. She looks just like me. Like, it was so weird. But also sometimes lesbians, especially Southern lesbians, look alike. So
That's actually well, I mean, it's like when a dog looks like its owner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It starts to happen kind of situation where you look for yourself a little bit, you know, in a partner.
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
Guilty.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all.
Okay, so circling back,
okay.
So Chick-fil-A is just that good that we'll justify or will excuse the conversion therapy donations?
Have you ever eaten there?
But I mean, like, literally, is it just that good? I mean, I know that everyone loves it and it's a beloved thing.
It's not just about the food.
But like, I'm a Del Taco girl, and if I found out that Del Taco was funding, something so sinister.
Well, Del Taco is the #1 fast food restaurant in the world now.
Is it?
Not in terms of per capita locations or revenue, but in
consumer sentiment.
Consumer sentiment.
Consumer sentiment. Jason, nothing would get you to not go to Del Taco.
No, I would be willing. There's a 5 billion restaurants, and they're all there. I can
You're
live
full of
without
shit,
it.
bro.
I swear to God.
You listen to R. Kelly. Like, don't do this.
Where's Del Taco from?
We have locations throughout the American Southwest.
Jason, I mean, Del Taco is a Southern California started business, correct?
Yeah.
It's your culture.
It's your culture.
I mean, I will draw the line at I love In-N-Out, and even though they're super Christian and religious and might have a little I'll still go there. But Chick-fil-A just always felt wrong to me. I don't know. It just has dark energy to it to me. And partly probably because I never found it to be delicious.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Well, keep on munching those nuggets, Biz. What's your Chick-fil-A order? How many nugs can you put down in one sitting? If the game's on.
If the game is on.
You have your favorite drink.
I mean, when I was in high school, there was a thing called Nugget Night, which is like everyone would go there.
Is that like a jump on the grenade kind of scenario?
What does that mean?
Like when it's like a room full of tortas?
So hold on. So you mean you go to Chick-fil-A or somebody just gets the nugget trays for the crib?
No, you go there. It's like I don't know if they still do it because I feel like it's one of those things that would have been like slashed during COVID.
Yeah.
But you would just go and eat as many nuggets as you wanted.
We lost our Nugget Night funding during COVID.
So you're saying it was like a one price, like here's a 20 spot. I'm about to eat these nuggets, so you got to roll me out of here.
Yes, and like it was a popular like mating ground for high school students and middle schoolers too.
Yeah, nothing gets me ready to poke more than a 26 chicken nuggets.
I mean, where else are you supposed to go? Like
that's a good
the
point.
Bleachers.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Like, okay, Del Taco.
Because we've talked about nugget trays on this podcast before, because I was sort of in my larger days, I was a little bit of a nugget tray menace myself.
Nugget tray menace?
You don't bring your tray around me.
How many solo, Chris?
Oh, yeah. I could put down 30 nuggets, 40, no problem. No problem. I mean, I was like 11.
Do you like that Chick-fil-A nuggets are like sweet? Because I think it's good.
What a great question, Biz.
Thank you.
I haven't had a Chick-fil-A nugget in over 20 years. So I don't
20 years?
I haven't eaten meat since I was in 15.
Okay.
But I do get an occasional hankering for a Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit breakfast combo with the kind of medallion style hash browns.
Those are really good. That's like a good thing to get at the airport.
I didn't know you grew up in South Carolina, so you understand Southern delicacies.
I do.
Okay. So have you been to Cookout?
Yeah. Yeah. Ask me anything.
Okay, Biz, I would say like
about it.
Spiritually, Del Taco and Cookout have a lot of similar DNA, just to let you know. Not in terms of the menu items, but in terms of like
the vibe. You
can go there when you're like drunk or stoned. A wide variety of menu. There's 100 things on there, and they all kind of have the same ingredients. And you can be a little bit of mini nacho and a burger and a chicken quesadilla and a milkshake and a whatever.
Oh,
that's cool.
And it's all like very cheap.
Yeah. Okay. I took Jason to Cookout once, and I was disgusted. I didn't even want to be near it.
Dang.
I feel like I had to take a shower sitting in the parking lot.
I mean, it's a bit of a hog trough of a restaurant.
It's a hog trough.
It is definitely a hog trough, but like. Okay, why do you guys just want to say such bad things about the things that I like?
Well, we say bad things about the things we like too. It's kind of the whole thing here.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, to be clear, we didn't drive past Cookout flipping it off. Like, we parked, went inside, I gave them my money, and I consumed all of their food, and I enjoyed it. So,
well, okay, I just think that like Cookout came to South Carolina. I don't know where it's from. It might be from Alabama or it's probably from North Carolina, and when I was in high school. So this was like an amazing invention that was like dropped on my doorstep, like.
Of course.
So like I feel like I experienced it a little bit differently than maybe you have.
It was a coming of age meal for you.
Absolutely. Probably yes.
Do you remember what combo platter awoken yourself at Cookout?
Yeah, I do. Because
Also, I just looked it up. The first cookout is in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Shout out to our Greensboro listeners, La Familia.
Throw your G's up.
So I would say my order was like some combination of these several things. Like the number one thing is chicken quesadillas. They're so good. I don't know if you guys have had them from there, but that's like the best thing to get there.
Okay.
A corn dog maybe. I like the chicken fingers.
Yeah.
And I like the Cajun fries, and I like.
Ooh, too spicy.
I like cheer wine. It's like one of my favorite drinks. So that's like a real Southern delicacy, Chris. You would know.
Cheer wine though is like it's so syrupy. It's like Dimetap. Like it's like
what is a Dimetap?
It's like Robitussin.
Robitussin. Like it's like
okay. It's like lean.
Yeah, I was gonna say lean,
Over the counter lean.
I didn't want to trigger you. So if you like that consistency in a soda, you don't just want a Coke Zero like a normal chick.
No, I do drink Coke Zero. I like different types of soda. I love Diet Coke, but like, why would I drink a Diet Coke at Cookout when it's like one of the only places on the planet that you can get cheer wine?
Sure,
cheer wine.
And I would never. I will be so like frank. I don't always drink the whole cheer wine. Like sometimes you just want to have a couple sips.
You're brave. You're brave for that, Biz. Thank you for admitting.
Well, the Cookout menu is so affordable. Somebody is able to splash out like how if Drake goes to Delilah, he'll say one of everything. He'll take one bite of each thing and whatever. It doesn't matter. You could live like that at Cookout. That's the beauty of it.
You can live like that at Cookout.
Except the food is like when everyone like saves up all their resources in jail and they make like really good food that night.
That's actually so
it's sort of on par with that.
That's like real because I was gonna be like, guys, you should get this amazing off the menu item, but it's like an Oreo peanut milkshake that like has the consistency of like jail food, I think, because it's like the peanut butter is like not mixed up, and I feel like peanut butters and Oreos is like one of the only things that like people in jail can get. So they always make like they like pour milk on the Oreos and then make it into like a batter.
Sure. Yeah, but they don't have access to a Vitamix or a Ninja behind closed. Yeah.
Now you guys have
the peanut butter is hand churned.
You guys have got me thinking about hitting the local 7-Eleven out here in Jackson Hole, getting the sleeve of Oreos and some peanut Jif and just dipping.
That's a
nice dip.
It's a good Jackson Hole snack.
Yeah. Hang yourself with a shoelace afterwards.
I was going to do that anyway, so I don't need the.
So Biz. Also, before we forget, is that your real name?
No.
Is that your government name, sis?
It's not my government name. It is my nickname since I was a little baby.
Okay.
It's very waspy for someone from South Carolina, but is your name Elizabeth Government? That was my guess.
It could be something like that.
What is your real name, Biz?
But my name, you will like. My name is complicated and complex.
Well, let's get into it. We got 45 minutes.
We speak fluent English, Biz. We can.
Yeah.
We may have heard it
you
before.
Guys do. You guys can keep. You guys, if you guess, I'll tell you.
Is Sherbert your actual real name? Can you give us that?
Yeah, that is my government last name.
You sound also not positive about what your real name is. You seem to be a little on the fence what your actual name is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's been that long.
It's been a long time.
I think Biz is I love it. I think it's a really great name. It's really catchy, unforgettable, cute. It has
Biz on the beat.
It has all the elements. But I just, it's like when I I've heard a lot of kind of like WASP nicknames and I'm shocked at what they are.
The best one that I've ever heard was my mom's friend who owned this like Southern restaurant and her name was Chicken.
Do you remember the last name?
No.
But Chicken... but chicken wasn't short for something. It was just straight up.
Yeah, but that's like the best.
But then they'll shorten
is not
chicken.
Short for something. Yeah, like chicky or something.
They'll be hey chick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have siblings? Do they have fun names too?
No.
Damn. Okay, so you're the Beyonce of the family, is what you're saying.
Not at all.
Are you in a fight right now with your siblings?
You guys are good. You guys are good then.
Yeah. We're good.
Okay. Well, I have listened to your podcast. You guys all used to be nymphets, not anymore. How long has it been?
In a while.
Are you in recovery? Are you going to NA?
No, I'm good. I mean, it like the letters from the podcast is NA. It's Nympha alumni. So
that's right.
You guys knew that already.
I see you too have mastered the English language, Biz.
I did. It took me a while to put that together, to be honest.
That's okay.
I don't know if you guys like the podcast because I know that you guys said you'd never heard of it when Mel came on the show.
I listened to a couple of them. I listened to your most recent one, and I listened to the mukbang. What was the most recent one on?
I just don't think that was the one to listen to, but
yeah, welcome to our fucking life. You know what I mean? You choose one off the menu.
From the list of episodes that you didn't send, those were the ones I chose, the most recent ones.
Yeah, that's true. I can't blame you.
No, I mean, the most recent episode, I thought it was good.
Thanks.
But I don't remember what it was about because I
don't remember what it was either.
I'm about to pull it up. Don't worry.
Okay.
Oh, I went to your website. Oh, you've moved.
Me? Oh.
You're on Substack now.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's actually just nymphetalumni.com if you want to type that in.
You own the URL. You purchased it. You were able to purchase the URL.
Took us a long time.
I'm proud of you. That's big.
Thanks.
That's being a small business owner.
Totally.
Why do you live in London?
Well, I really like it.
But did you meet a bloke? Were you going to Central St. Martin's?
Actually, you guys have met my ex-boyfriend.
Let's get into it. What's his name? What does he do for a living? We'll bleep it out. Jason will bleep it out.
Will you actually?
Yeah.
His name's...
So did you move to London for a man is what we're getting at?
No. No, I didn't move to London for a man. The man found me.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You were strutting through Mayfair and you got chose up.
I got chosen.
He said, "What's this then?"
Literally, yes, and that's how most good love stories start.
What's this? What's this?
What's all this then? Yeah, you guys don't believe in the Patreon model.
Biz, did you used to be on Patreon and then you switched to Substack?
100%.
How much did the revenue go down when you switched over?
I'm not answering that.
Well, was there a dip at all? We don't need to figure.
Went up.
Okay. So you're the one.
The one?
The one podcast that switched over to Substack and didn't lose money.
What else are you talking about?
No shade to our Substack family. We love you guys.
Tell me what you know. They lost money moving to Substack?
I gave you a bleep. I'll give myself a bleep, Biz.
Me.
one for TJ,
it's called
Biz.
trust, and we're building it, Biz.
Yeah. What if it was just the same person that was bleeped out both times? Same name.
That would be the crossover. I'd be like, damn,
awesome.
I didn't know you were in a relationship with a. It would make a little bit of sense.
Yeah, Biz, you got to watch out for. I could see them banging
They're
your
a slimy lot. Okay, well, actually, I pulled up the last episode I listened to, and there's a lot of crossover for what we talk about on this show.
Yeah.
You were talking about the Justin Bieber's public glow down, and that's the thing that Chris and I have talked about where I'm bullish on Justin. I think that it's always dark before the light. I think he's about...
Before he dies?
There is that as well.
Not gonna die.
But I think that I really like his bong posting. I really like his positive energy. I think he's almost out of the storm, and he's going to emerge with a really good "Where Are You Now" style end of summer song. What say you, Biz?
Chris
thinks he will die.
Really love what?
I said Chris thinks he may die.
I've heard from very good sources that he's got no songs. He took $200 million because he's broke from publish. He sold his catalog.
He sold his catalog. Yeah.
He has a baby that he doesn't have to take care of, and his wife definitely hates him. His wife definitely hates him. Do you not agree with all those things?
So he's a rock star.
I don't know if Haley hates him. I am not so deep in their psychology, but I do think that's like the new wave, which is like girl stalks boyfriend for years.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get married or something because the reason I think this is because there's this YouTuber, this like 2010s like Brit Squad YouTuber named Casper Lee, and he just married this girl that he met at like a fan meetup like 10 years ago when they were teenagers, and she was like a big fan of his. So I feel like that's just gonna become more and more thing as people are able to communicate more, and like girls can like DM guys obviously, and all these, everyone's getting flown out basically. People
have been tricking other people on both, men and women and non-binary friends have been sort of tricking people into marrying them or getting in relationships with them
for years,
for centuries. But I think now with technology and like a heightened sense of awareness, we're able to sort of weaponize that, and really a random ass person, if they really work hard enough, could marry an A-list celebrity slowly and surely.
Let's not forget, hold on, I'm not going to let this Haley slander go down. Haley is fine as hell, and she is from the bald. She's from the Baldwin lineage, a rich Hollywood history.
It's good stock right there, Chris.
Good stock. That's what I'm saying. Let's not discount her and what she brings to the table.
I actually would never do that. I feel like there's a lot of people that hate her because they think she's like basic, but actually like I had a realization this past year, maybe a year ago, which is like all girls dress like Hailey Bieber still. Like even though that's considered like basic, I think I was like in New York a year ago and I was like, oh, everyone has a bob. Everyone's wearing giant denim shorts and white tank tops. And like, that's the vibe.
I'll tell you what,
like everywhere you go.
And I tell you what, Biz, they don't look like her, and that's the damn problem. You can't.
Some of them do.
Some of them look good though. But
you haven't seen a girl who goes to Pilates in the West Village before, like that's
bitch.
not true.
That is me. I am that girl, and I'm still.
Yeah.
I can't.
Wait, so you think Hailey is really really hot and sexy then?
Girl, I think you're really, really hot and sexy.
No, I think she's a really, yes, I do. I mean, I think she's hot. That's her whole purpose. But I also think she's a great businesswoman with Rode. I think there's a possibility now that Justin has sold his catalog that she could be the breadwinner in the relationship.
Yeah, because I think I read that she's maybe gonna sell it, and it's like for like $4 billion or something like that.
Well, this is the problem that the Selena Gomez stuff. Selena's already paped up from her beauty brand. She's got to, it's the competition continues even if we don't want it to.
It's a pape off.
Their brands are so different to me. Like I feel like Selena's was a very much post like Glossier tip. Like everything is called like happiness and like honesty, and it's like the shade names. And then Hailey's are called like salted caramel, and they're in like a gray tube. You know what I mean? Like
sure. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. So if you had to align yourself with one of these beauty brands, which one is more Biz? Come on, pick one.
I have used the Hailey Bieber.
I know your ass has the Rode phone case. Don't front.
No, I don't. I have a phone case that has, let me tell you my two phone cases. This one has my American Style star on it.
That's nice.
So good.
So good.
So good. My friend drew this for me, and I think she did a really good job.
I agree.
Yeah, that is a star if I've ever seen one.
Not all stars are created equally.
Why do you have two phones? You have one for the podcast, one for the newsletter? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. I was hoping you'd ask me what my two phones were for. This one is disgusting. It has like all this stuff on it.
Is that a Devin Lee Carlson case?
Nah, I beefed with her recently about her phone cases though.
I think I read about that in TMZ.
Why did you beef with? She's the hot chick phone case.
Oh fuck!
Groundbreaking. She broke the mold. What did you have beef with her about? I was
beefing because I was off Twitter for like many years because I just didn't like it, and I felt like there was a time when I just started seeing so much weird like anorexic content that was like very right wing, very like weird. This was like early 2020. So I left the sphere, and then I came back and I was like, I guess I could tweet something. And I just think that the Wildflower phone cases, I think they're cool. I like them, but some of their collaborations are just really badly designed. And so I tweeted about it and called them girl slop. And Wildflower like favorited the tweet, and I was like, oh my god, like I hope Devin Lee didn't see this. Like I just want to make her smile. And then I like tweeted them that, and they were like, they sent a heart back, and I was, that was it.
Okay, so but you've owned a Wildflower case in your never.
I would say this beef feels a little on the one-sided side of things.
Very one-sided.
So, did you learn anything from this the public flogging, and then they kill you with kindness with the heart? How did you feel after that? Did you immediately beat back the truck up?
How I felt was like, as a person who does different things, I was like, oh, maybe she's never gonna let me profile her now.
Oh, so you want to write the Devin Lee Carlson profile? Like, how did you do it from hot rocker dater to phone case peddler?
Sort of. Like, I actually am kind of curious of what stories about influencers are actually interesting now to write.
Oh, I can tell you, none of them.
I don't agree.
But I think, Biz, as a content creator yourself, I think it's an important lesson to know that hating your way into somebody's inbox is often never the right way to do it. And I only know that from being on both sides of it in my long life.
I don't really think I'm a hater.
I mean, calling somebody's product slop is not necessarily complimentary.
I don't think I'm a hater. I don't think I'm a hater either, Biz, but thousands of people have told me differently. So I've come to terms with the fact that if you don't like anything, then you're a hater is basically where we stand in today's society.
yeah, it's very polarized, I suppose. I think there should be a good complicated scale for hater
There is.
vibes,
It's
though.
just, it's a higher degree of difficulty, but there's a spectrum of hating,
Yeah.
and it can be done in a loving way. But I mean, typically when somebody sends me a hateful comment or something like that, I will reply back in a way that makes them hopefully feel a little dumb. And they instantly, every single time, they're like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm such a big fan of blah, 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 this. I
Really?
bought your t-shirt 3 years ago." Blah, blah, like, and it's just because whatever they're going through that day in their own personal life, was making them say those hateful things.
Yeah, that's how I felt after they sent me a heart back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you reply to all of your mean messages?
No. Only the ones that
Okay.
pique my interest, and also if I quote unquote have the time today.
Okay.
I would also say that most people that real haters don't send you they're anonymous. No real hater is gonna. That's not part of the equation.
A real hater is creating AI artwork about you on an anonymous account that you've never seen.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
That happened to you?
C1550067 is saying you're stupid. That's kind of that's my life.
Okay.
He's posting an old photo of you from when you were looking your worst is usually what happens as well.
Yeah.
This is all the stuff that you have to look forward to as your star continues to rise, Biz.
Okay.
Yeah, Biz, it's not worth it. Trust me. Go get a job. Turn around right now. Go get a real job with some benefits.
She has a job.
You don't need to do this.
She does American style. And do you think that America is back? Do you consider yourself to be a patriotic person?
I think I'm a patriotic person, but I think
Hell yeah, welcome home, Biz.
Thanks.
What country do you live in?
We don't really live in London anymore.
What you mean?
Like, I went back to America to write. I started American Style, and then I was like, I need to stay here in America to write American Style.
Presumably.
Yeah, but I did some recent field work here in London, and it's actually nice. Like, British people, they get really disarmed by the American accent, so it's really easy to ask them questions.
So they're like into you being American, and they're into American style, and they still consider it to be a beacon of light and inspiration for cultural things, or not so much?
I did have a terrible moment the other day where I was like in Notting Hill, and I was talking to this kind of sweet posh girl in my Notting Hill report on American Style, and I was like talking about literally what Americans wear and Americans being in Notting Hill, and she was like, "Oh, like, what do they wear?" And I was like, "Well, I just saw this American woman with 2 plastic water bottles in her back pockets, like just like stuffed in there."
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I don't know, I don't think that's good on a global scale, but right?
In terms of our need for hydration and our baby bottleification of American girlies?
I mean, I love to drink water out of plastic, like, to be honest. So
yeah, but you're not carrying around the Stanley.
Oh, I actually am.
Mate. Do you have the Stanley on you? And is it accessorized?
It's yonder.
Got it.
It's not in this room, but it's not a cup, it's a water bottle.
Heard.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Okay.
What color is it, and did you decorate it with stickers?
It's gray. It's like the color of your shirt.
Is gray back?
No, it's like, this is the one that's for like the foremen and stuff, I think. Like the men who are going to work late at night, like the original Stanley consumers, I think. I don't think it's like for women.
Okay. It's 2025, Biz. Women can have gray. You're wearing a gray shirt, standing in front of a gray wall.
Honestly, Biz, I think being a foreman is a better path maybe than newsletters and podcasting. Something to think about.
You should do it.
I agree, but unfortunately, I can't use a hammer. So
she's a Substack foreman for Herman.
For Herman?
It's for
them.
It's for someone.
For them. I'm a for them.
But are you guys like rich though from like Substack and podcasting? Not Substack, but podcasting?
No.
Really?
No one is except the top 2.
Oh, okay.
The top 2. The only people that make money in podcasting are people that we all know their
like
names.
Alex Cooper.
Yeah, Alex Cooper,
Yeah.
Joe Rogan, Smartless, Dax Shepard.
But don't you get awesome consulting jobs from having such a good podcast?
Sure, but it's still
yeah.
ain't
The podcast fuels multiple revenue streams. It helps our influencing business, our consulting business, my DJ business, our on-screen talent business.
Yeah.
Whatever it might be. But it's mostly, a means to get paid by brands. That's just how everyone makes money now,
Yes.
Unless you're doing Patreon.
or Substack.
Yeah.
Or Substack. That's right. Do you think this? Speaking of gender, I wanted to talk about this yesterday, but since we have a lady on the pod, I saved it for you.
Thanks.
It's an issue that people are talking about recently more and more. Do you think straight men should be allowed to attend Pilates classes?
Oh.
No. Like, I guess it depends on the guy.
As soon as we finish this, I'm going to Pilates.
Okay. Are you going with a woman?
No, I'm going alone.
Okay, because I feel like it's kind of more annoying when guys go with their girlfriends.
Okay.
Yeah, I that's a good take.
Because it's like,
why is that though?
you guys have nothing else that you like to do together. You know what I mean? It's like, I just don't think that that's all. I don't necessarily know if I love that. Because then it's like, are you doing this for your girlfriend versus like if you're just like in it for the love of the game? I'm like, can't hate on that. Like if you're going to Pilates and you love doing Pilates and you're a man, but if you're more so doing it so your girlfriend likes you more, I think I feel complicated about that.
No, I agree. That is an interesting point that I did not consider. But I think what you said, it depends on the guy. Obviously, you know, the energy of the person, and you know, maybe the smell and the essence of their energy is different, you know.
Are there other guys there?
Every once in a while, there's one other guy there.
In New York and LA, there's guys there. Everywhere else, there's not. That's my...
But I feel bad because it feels like a safe space for women, you know, by and large. But
do you feel like the women feel unsafe there?
When he walks in, yeah. Yeah.
That sucks.
No, I don't feel that at all. I don't feel that at all. I'm there. I'm you know, my head is down.
You should talk to them about it.
You should, you should be like, do you guys, I just want to make sure everybody's comfortable with me coming to this class. As a man, I bring in a certain energy. I don't want to disrupt the flow of the
I'll
class.
walk in, I'll bang on my Nalgene. Just a few quick moments, ladies. Yes, you in the back, please stop stretching.
Yeah, I mean,
you were discussing also on your podcast Gnarly by Cat's Eye, and I think some of you had favorable opinions, some of it not so much.
You wrote about them for Interview.
I did.
Magazine. Yeah.
Don't know why or how that happened, but it did.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, why didn't they give it to me? Like, why didn't they give it to a girl?
because sometimes a man's perspective is needed. Maybe not in Pilates class, but in media.
Yeah, definitely.
There's not enough men. You know that.
Yeah.
I was friends with the photographer. Maybe that was it. I don't know. Who knows?
Morgan was on American Style. She wrote about Coachella.
Cute.
I'd never heard of Cat's Eye until Jason did that.
Really? I hadn't either.
But that Gnarly song seems to be very divisive. Or I don't remember which camp you were on.
I don't think I was on a camp. Like, this is actually my co-host Alexi's. Like, she's really into K-pop, so she had really strong opinions about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw them at a Coach fashion show like last year, and they looked like famous people. I don't know. They were like small, and their hair was done, and they're good dancers. I like their dancing in the video.
You just described every K-pop group that's ever existed in the history of the world, though, you know?
I know, but
We're going to have to dig deeper.
Why do they even exist? Is it just the usual shit like five?
no, there's a whole thing. It's like they were on this like reality TV show to pick like the next K-pop idols, apparently.
And their thing is that it's a global group of
Yes.
people from all over the
Oh.
world, not just 17 Korean
Korea.
girls who are kept in cages.
It ain't just that, but they're all Asian.
No.
Oh, you got the white homie in it?
There's every type person.
All the flavors.
Oh, I like that.
Believe it or not, in 2025, they made a concerted effort to get a well-diverse cast of crew.
I like this girl. Her name is Adela. She was, I think, in the running to be in Cat's Eye, and she got cut.
Mm.
And I like her music. It's more like I messed up type music.
Did you say I messed up or I'm messed up?
Like she has like dirty pink hair, and
What a nasty bitch.
she's chill.
Well, I the reason why I like Gnarly by Cat's Eye is because I hate almost all K-pop. It's just very formulaic and not really for me, and I like that it is like a bizarre, interesting song, even though the lyrical subject matter is not really anything at all. But the video is AI, and that's arguably bad or good, but I think it's at least different and exciting. But you describe music in that zone as quote unquote pots and pans.
I said that.
I don't know. It's three ladies talking.
Yeah,
you guys all sound the same. I can't tell.
Dang.
When the hens start clucking, we can't pick out the.
Whatever.
How are we supposed to know?
Okay, your podcast
Sure
made reference to the phrase pots and pans music. Let's call it 11 times on this episode. Could you describe what that is?
I don't know because I didn't say that.
Okay. So is this the first time that you've heard this terminology? Is this the first time you've heard this phrase that I only learned from your podcast?
Maybe because there's other chicks on the podcast, not just me.
Yeah, but aren't you talking to them?
Do you listen when you're talking to them?
Yeah, I do listen. I like to hear what they have to say, but I think pots and pans, like, let me think really hard about this and do you really want the answer.
Well, I mean, I don't want to disturb you on this Monday, Biz. I'm so sorry for having you on.
Pots and pans. It must be like PC music-y sort of thing, right?
Okay, sure.
But like, wait, isn't it like there's like a 100 Gex vibe on this song, no?
Yeah.
Have you heard the song?
Yeah. It has like a Skrillexy,
glitchy. I feel like the word that's coming to mind is like glitchy. I feel like that's what pots and pans. I feel like Sam probably said that, but
do you think that calling it pots and pans music is derogatory?
Towards who?
I'm sorry?
Towards who? Towards the band?
Okay. Towards the music itself.
No, not really.
I don't think so either. I think it's kind of
I feel like
fun descriptor.
Yeah, like I think
okay.
People who make pots and pans music want to sound like they're making pots and pans music. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like when people like 100 Gex and stuff first came out, and maybe people are like, "Oh, this sounds like pots and pans," they'd be like, "Cool." That's like their idea of like punk, the word punk or something like that.
Right. Like what? Like when if I were to call somebody twee in a derogatory way, a twee person might be like, I'm proud to be a twee. I wear my twee as a badge of honor, kind of thing.
Yeah, sure.
I would like to make pots and pans music now that I know it's a genre. It really appeals to me as a name, as like a phrase.
Yeah, it caught my ear.
Yeah.
I like the idea though of you not knowing what it was after talking about it though.
It was really, really late at night when we recorded that episode.
Do you guys go late night mode?
Nah, not usually, but we had to do something special and so it was really late at night, so I think I was sleepy.
Okay, how
yes.
It's three of you, and where does everybody live?
Okay, so Sam is in Texas and Alexi's in New York. So being back in America, yeah, it made it a lot easier to do it. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad we got there. Are you in America right now?
No, I'm in London. I'm in South London.
Okay, I just wanted to understand because you're being cagey about your location.
Oh, really?
You're referencing America in a very non-specific way, and I want to get to the bottom.
Oh, yeah, no. So basically, I went back. I was in New York for a few months, and then I went to South Carolina, which is where my family's from, and then back to New York for a bit, and then I came here and did some traveling along the way, like writing about different stuff for American Style.
So you made it a work pleasure type of trip.
Yeah. And then also, I wanted to kick it with my family, but also like actually on a real note, I did, and maybe Chris, you can relate to this. I love seeing what people are wearing in the South. So I like to write about that a lot, and like that's something that really interests me. So I like to like I went to a Deftones show in Atlanta, and I found that kind of thing really interesting. That's like
I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Really, I liked it.
I feel like the Deftones of it all would cancel out the Southern of it all.
No, I think it's a twisted hybrid. Actually, is what
it's definitely a twisted hybrid.
Well, could you please? Yeah, I would love to hear more about the twisted hybrid.
Twisted hybrid. There was like this girl I met who was wearing kind of like a full grunge outfit. She described as like goth grunge club kid. It was all from Temu, like all of it. And then she also worked at a factory, and like she had a Southern accent, and she was cool. She was super cool. And then this other kid, which is probably a good example of kind of like the twisty nature of this sort of thing, is like I saw this kid with Liberty spikes, which I didn't really know that's what they were called until I was like writing this, but like the big punk spikes in your hair. And I walked up to him obviously because there's not really anyone else wearing those there, and I found out that he was in a frat, and that was just like his look for the night. And he was like, I could see his beautiful frat face underneath kind of like the eyeliner.
That's actually insane.
Yeah,
that is insane.
So that's why everyone should go read the newsletter. But like
back in our day, that person would get beat up.
Yeah.
And also
for that level of stolen valor and cosplay.
I've always said that Deftones is music for people that work at 7-Eleven, and now that
Really?
you told me this girl works at a factory.
I love a head-to-toe Timu mall goth cyberpunk factory worker. That's so weird. And
that's the internet, bro.
Weird,
that's all the internet.
It feels like this is from a futuristic film script.
There was a lot of people like that who were wearing like these really alternative signaling looks, and they were from like Shein or but there was some really nice stuff. Like a lot of people were still like, oh, this is all like my older sister's clothes, or they're like, I went to Party City and I found these fishnets and then I like chopped them up. You know what I mean? Like the kids are still having fun in that kind of way.
I guess I've never put, I guess I put on outfits, but I never thought, like the idea of going like theme night mode to go see the Deftones.
It's very depressing.
In 2025 is kind of crazy.
Yeah, they were really young. Like, so they're like teenagers. Like honestly, like most of the people I spoke with were between the ages of like 14 and 19. And then the like early 20s wasn't really a thing. And then there were some older people there as well who, were like Gen X.
But are the Deftones, are they back with that generation? Is that like a TikTok
they're
thing?
Really back.
Oh, it's huge.
Okay.
Chris, you probably would know this place. It's the State Farm Arena, and
yeah, of course.
It's like really, really big, and it was like really full of people that were there.
I know the Deftones are a popular band. I just didn't know how young it went.
I know it's like easy. Yeah, like, it's really young. I know it's easy to be like, that's so like fucked up. These kids are wearing stuff from Temu, and it is. But also like they were all so sincere and really like nice and just like so happy to be at, like a lot of them was like, oh, this is my first show, or like my dad showed me Deftones, and it was just really sweet. And so,
well, that's child abuse, but I guess we can sweep that under the rug.
To me it feels like a like an alternative version of everyone's gonna wear a pink cowboy hat for the Beyonce show.
It is, Jason. It totally is, Jason.
Which does not have a place in the world of punk, I would argue.
Well, that's because Deftones isn't punk.
That's for the normies.
Deftones is alternative radio rock that has been the revisionist history is that they were some like groundbreaking alternative band, which they were just like on the radio like everything else.
Well, I met this guy there who was in this band called Mastodon. Is like a
yeah.
Like I just like walked up to him and I was like looking for older people to talk to, and then he was like,
did he have the face? Was it Brent? Was the guy with face tattoos?
His name is Bran.
Yeah. Oh, the drummer. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the drummer. And I was like, hey, like, can I talk to you? And like, blah, blah, blah. He was like, yeah, Deftones was really, because he's, he revealed to me that he was in a band and they like toured together and stuff like that with Alice in Chains and whatever. And he said that they were unfairly lumped in with like new metal. So I don't know if you have an opinion on that.
I don't know if that's unfair. I think that is.
Okay.
I would agree. I think Chris living in the sticks of Georgia wasn't really there when.
Where are you from in Georgia?
When
Atlanta.
Deftones were beasting in the underground.
Oh yeah, that's why when I said these, I was like, Sticks, like Vidalia, Georgia or something?
Deftones and Rage Against the Machine, we've talked about this a lot. They're two bands that have been completely, the idea of what they are is completely wrong to this generation. Like what they actually are and what people think they are two different things. Because they were both just big rock bands that played with Linkin Park and fucking Limp Bizkit is what they were.
Huh.
I mean, they never toured with them though, but they would share a festival billing with them because they're big.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just a little bit like, how unfair is it if you're playing shows together, you're on the same radio stations, you know what I mean?
I mean, you could say the same thing about Nirvana, and they're as punk as it gets, but they ended up being on.
I don't think Nirvana's punk at all. Nirvana's not punk.
What do you mean?
I don't think Nirvana's punk. I think Nirvana is alternative.
Maybe I'm not talking about the style of music specifically, but
attitude.
Just the energy. And, I mean, like he lived like a real rock star, a true artist.
That's true.
He was maybe the most punk guy around.
Yeah, the lead singer of Deftones. It was really. I had a weird moment where like there's tons of like this stadium full of kids that are in middle school and high school, and then the singer's obviously like in his 50s. He was really good at singing. Like I was like, why does your voice sound the same? It shouldn't sound the same. And he was like running and jumping. Yeah. And he was wearing, I don't know what type of Nikes. Like he was kind of dressed a little bit like a cool pastor, like Chad Veach, who's of
course
Justin Bieber's pastor.
He had some Nike Cortezes on.
Something like that.
A Fear of God windbreaker, Coach.
Yeah, and then they were like laying on the floor, and I was like, whoa, you like must be in really good shape if you're doing all this.
That's true. No, that's true. I'm sure the show is good. I'm sure he's a consummate performer.
Well, okay, I guess what I'm trying to say is like I didn't have that feeling of like I don't know if I have experienced this firsthand, but when people see like old rock bands and they just seem like they're just not well. Like they're just like, old and
they're phoning it in. Life doesn't seem to be going well for them.
No, he like sounded maybe better than like when he was in his prime, which was really weird to me.
That's because
it's because beige don't age, brother.
Yeah. Also, it's pretty cool to like have a full resurgence because they were popular, but they weren't. I bet they're more popular now than their heyday.
So popular now. There can't be like. I mean, I know you're saying they were kind of like more mainstream than they are remembered, but
Chris was not.
They're like really, really popular now.
But Jason, you're saying they're more popular now than they were, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
It depends on what metrics you're considering.
I think in terms of what the metrics that matter to them, probably, which is like how much money can I make for my family, like they're like doing a lot better because they're like, I think they all have like families now. You know what I mean?
Oh, they definitely have families. Yeah, they definitely have families.
Of course they do, but they were also releasing albums in the mid '90s, and that was at the peak of
made a lot of money.
The profit margins were at the highest they've ever been in the history of making money off of music.
Oh,
so they obviously have a lot of streams now, and they're able to sell, 20,000 seat arena or whatever. But, in 1998, they could potentially have been playing larger venues, selling more tickets, and definitely making more money off of album sales,
like actual album sales.
Not to be a nitpicker.
That's a good place to go do some research, though. I feel like that is an interesting cross section. Like I wouldn't have expected it to be what you just described it as.
Yeah, that's why I think people need to manage their judgments. Not necessarily you two, but like I think that fashion is. I don't know. I think like we've all consumed so much fashion content that I think it's really easy to look at someone that you see at like a Deftones show and be like, oh, I know exactly what they're referencing with that outfit. I know everything about them. But like so far, I found out that a lot of my assumptions about people aren't true, which is, I think, actually really refreshing.
Yeah, I would agree.
I would disagree. I think it sucks that we are living in a post-reference world and there is no references to check anymore. People are just like, I saw it on TikTok. And that's it.
Yes, but it's not always that. Like sometimes it is like, oh, I like this band from the 90s or something like that or whatever it may be. Or my favorite people are the ones that I'm like, so like, why do you have all those facial piercings? And they're like, I don't know, just like them. Like that's my favorite person because I'm like, yeah,
me too.
I like that when people don't have this like, oh, I saw this picture of this person, so I decided to do it, and like, I think that's cool.
Or like, what does your tattoo mean? You're like, I don't know, I like it.
Yeah,
that's the best way to do it, and the only way to do it.
That's cool.
Facial piercings are a tough putt.
Well, this was a very, very cool young woman. There was at this like underground like fake mink adjacent show in London where I saw things that I'd never seen before.
Wow, love a cliffhanger, Biz.
Oh, that's good.
Let's go pay some bills.
We'll look for that in a new dispatch of American Style then.
Yeah, that might come up. I was kind of drunk though, so I like was forgetting to record sometimes. But hopefully I can salvage something.
Been there, girl.
Yeah, been there, sis. All right, Biz, thank you for joining us on How Long Gone.
Thanks, guys.
We appreciate it. You guys go check out American Style. You can subscribe. You can listen to NIFET Alumni wherever you listen to podcasts. And we welcome you back to America with open arms.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Jason. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Any last words? Any shout outs? You all good? Anything you want to plug?
Oh, I actually want to shout out my friend Shalita. She loves your show. I once stumbled upon her in a hotel room listening to you while she was napping.
Oh, okay. Well, that's I like a backhanded compliment. That's nice.
No. Like your voice, like she's like, oh, it sounds so good.
It's so relaxing.
Like
it's so relaxing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me on. Bye.